3:30, we will formally close the session, but that will be with thanks to all of you. Those who want to leave, please feel free to leave. But we will stay on till 3:45 to discuss if any of you want to continue the conversation. I would also like to quickly run through a few things. In the chat box, may I request you to leave two things. One is that you can ask comments or you can ask questions or leave your comments about this particular webinar. And more importantly, I would appreciate if you leave some feedback regarding some of the things that you see happening at CLT to support you. That would be much appreciated. I would also like you, all of you, to know that we will be recording this video. We are still deciding either on Google Drive or YouTube, and we will upload it on our CLT website as additional resources for all of you to follow. Right now, I will start with our first panelist. I'm very thankful to our experts who agreed to join at a short notice. Our first is Adil Ahmed Amir. He is an assistant professor, as you all know, in the Department of Mass Communications, and he has extensive experience. He's a practitioner of mass comm. He has 16 years in national and electronic media and print world, and he has worked in different capacities from reporter to producer to news manager with very well-known organizations. And right now he is making waves at Tech Campus. So Adil, over to you, and I will introduce the experts when it is there, you know, when you have the start to speak. So Adil, you have a very short time, but you have a lot to say. So over to you.
Thank you very much, ma'am. And I will try to cover it in 4 or 5 minutes. So as far as my experience is concerned, using Moodle is, it's a wonderful resource. It has many inbuilt tools that can use to enhance student learning and engagement. So I will briefly talk about 3 tools. One of the tool which I'm using currently is Wiki. Wiki is one of such tool, you can say. It is basically building knowledge collaboratively or together. That means you and your students can do a collaborative task on Moodle. So it's kind of a mini website that lives in Moodle, and anyone, your student that are registered with your course, can edit that website. So my students are using Wiki on Moodle, just like Wikipedia, which is a collaborative platform for knowledge sharing. Probably you have noticed when you are using Wikipedia pages that you can edit them. Similarly, my students are editing those pages. They are adding content into those pages. They are adding pictures, videos, links, text, a lot of things into that. That means it's a wonderful resource to do group projects. So what I do, I used to set up a wiki for my students to research on a topic that they can write a collaborative essay in groups or produce a group assignments. That means it's a wonderful resource for producing group assignments, which is very important in current scenario. So apart from that, you can use Wiki for your group lectures and notes. Your students can collaboratively author an online resource like a book or a handout. They can create a content. Collaboratively, they can start a storytelling like a poetry creation where each and every participant write a line or a verse. So that means it has a lot of functionalities. The text editor Moodle uses in Wiki, that is very versatile, and students can add images, text, captions, videos, a lot of things. So that means you can use it for collaborative tasks. Your lecture, they can actually catch up using those handouts that are available on Wiki. So that is a good thing for that. For group project management, you can assign them a project. For instance, I have assigned my students to write a script for their documentary, and my students were working in groups. So I created a wiki for them. So like 6 students, they were creating storyboards on Wiki. They were writing scripts together. That means you do not have to write a script and email to your peer. You can live edit script over there. You can add your comments and your text into your project or your script. The third thing you can do with Wiki is you can use it for brainstorming as well. You can put up an idea on Wiki and you can ask your students to give their idea or they give their input. Usually such kind of class activity we do in our live classes when we are physically present there. We ask their students to give their ideas. So you can set up a Wiki and student can add their ideas into a Wiki. So in that way, Wiki is a wonderful resource for brainstorming as well. The second thing is forum. Forum is kind of, that is different from Wiki, but you can use it for class participation as well. I'm using it for my class participation. For instance, yesterday I put up a question, what are the 10 two best practices to promote your film? So now I have 35 students in my class. Now 35 students have given like 2 ideas to promote their film. Now we have 70 ideas to promote our films. So in that way, we have developed a supplement lecture apart from the lecture I have given them on how to produce how to promote their films. So forums can do that. So I will share a forum here as well with you at the end of this talk, that how you can build I'm not going to tell how you are going to build a forum, but I'll share my forum, that how students participated in that. So it encourages discussions if students are quiet, because a lot of students, they are quiet nowadays. Probably they are going through a lot. So it encourages discussion. It helps to shape ideas if students begin to wander off tasks. So you can actually take them along. So in that way, forums are great. Apart from forums, another thing very important, that is polls or survey. Usually on Moodle, survey, we use survey. We can call them polls as well, but they are available with the name of survey. So what surveys do? Basically, survey activity provides a number of verified survey instruments. Usually we do a lot of democratic practices in our class. Let's say we ask students who want to work in project and who want to work individually. So obviously, because they are away from the classroom and you cannot reach them instantly, so you can put up a question in a survey, through a survey, that how many of you want to work in groups and how many of you want to work in how many of you want to work individually. So survey can help you to understand what actually they want. The second important thing survey can do, it can reflect upon your teaching as well. You can ask question about how the course is progressing, whether assignments are easy to do, how they are doing their assignments. So you can reflect upon your course as well. So as a teacher, you can gather data as well from the students. So it will help them learn about their class and reflect on your own teaching as well. So these are the 3 very important tools you can use. So apart from that, right now I'm going to share here one of my, I guess I cannot share a screen.
Yeah.
So I want to share my.
What I will do is we'll leave that for question and answer, because I would like us first to, because you have talked about Wiki, which is a collaborative tool, and peer learning is very important. You talked about quizzes for a democratic working in the classroom. And so we will first I think you've talked about these 2 points. At this point, we'll move on to the next expert that we have. We have Dr. Sabah with us. And Sabah, I think I would have preferred if each of you introduced yourself, but I'm honored to introduce you. You're working as an assistant professor in the School of Life Sciences at the campus, and you've been working since 2010. And before that, you were at Kinnaird College, and you have been a research scholar at Punjab University. And your plus is that you have already conducted lots of online courses at the Virtual University of Pakistan. And I think that gives you an edge over lots of us. So over to you, Sabah, so that you may talk about your brief 2 points for the time being that we have decided upon. Please do say what those 2 areas are on which you're going to talk. Thank you. Sabah, over to you.
Can you hear me? Okay.
Yes, absolutely.
Assalamu alaikum, and good day to everybody. I hope everybody is safe and fine. I was asked to talk about two main points, though I added a third one, but let's see how can I manage the time. So first thing that I want to talk about is an open book quiz. We know that I actually practiced that in my on-campus classes as well. So I thought I should try that in online mode. In open book quiz, what happened that I give material to the students, and then they have to look at that material right there, and I design and structure my questions in a way that they cannot get those answers from internet. So I practice that in classroom. So I am trying that with Moodle, and I can easily do that and manage that. uh, Now I have to compare how it goes in on campus and how it goes in online mode. Now there are certain points that I have made. I think I have to look at my cheats as well. So what were those points? When I tried in the class, what happened that I have to share a lot of material. I mean, paperwork I have to give to them, and it's difficult to get that much paperwork photocopied. Plus, what happened that when they see lots of papers, they get confused and they get tense. There's a benefit in online mode that I can give them directly links on which they can go and study. I can also give them different files that they see. And I don't know, there's an advantage to the students in online mode, because when they look at the files in a virtual mode, I think they do not they do not get that they are overloaded with the material. But when they see those in paper, they actually feel that there is too much material. So in online mode, I am getting that benefit. I give them material, links, or anything to study, and then I give them a quiz according to that. In Moodle, we have an advantage that we also can give them video. When we are giving them a quiz, in quiz, our question may be a video, our question may be an audio, our question may be a picture, URL, or anything, any website maybe, and then we can put our questions according to that. So there's a huge benefit in open book quiz, and online mode. Moodle do have an advantage over on campus use of open book quizzes. So that's the major advantage that I feel that this is present in Moodle. Now the second thing I had to talk about is the BB button, the big blue button inside that. Previously, every one of us is, I think, if I'm not wrong, using Zoom or maybe Google Classroom. Now, what happened that what's the advantage of big blue button? For that, I thought I should try this with the students. That its video is directly uploaded to Moodle. Whenever we are interacting with the students through BB button, what happened that a session just like this Zoom meeting, they get an option directly in the Moodle that they can join that meeting. I am already joined by default. The teacher is already there, and we can also ask them to join. Secondly, we can also allow a few of them to be moderators if we want it. Like, for example, we want to give them group work, we want to ask them, a few of them, to be moderators of or in charge of the group, or like that. Second, we can share PowerPoint. We can easily and we can like on PowerPoint, we can draw anything that we want. Like if we want to highlight something, we want to circle something, or we can easily do that, and we can remove that. So that's an advantage. Then we can also share a whiteboard side by side. We can also go for an interactive whiteboard in which I am writing, some other person can also write. Same students can do. We can assign them that they can basically, many of them can write on the same board. So this is another advantage, but the major advantage is this, that its video is directly uploaded to the Moodle. So whenever we start the session, we have to make sure that we have to switch on the recording. On the top of it, there is a record button. So if we start recording that meeting will be recorded. There is one point that there is some delay in recording to be uploaded on Moodle, because when we finish the meeting, we are assuming that video is just there for us, but this does not happen. There is a slight delay. Probably that is the interaction between the Moodle layout and the big blue button. That is another, basically, we can say, a software. From BBB, video is processed, and then after some time it is loaded on Moodle. So this delay sometimes confuses us, recording has happened or not. recording has happened. In some time, the video appears on the Moodle. Now, there is one thing on which I think I can ask for feedback maybe later on after my talk from Shakir Saab, that can we download that video on our computer? I didn't find any option in BBB that can we download that video on our computer or not. I didn't find any option. So Shakir Saab can tell us that can we do that in some way or the other way? I don't know. So after my talk, he can. So these two main things, and one more thing for a minute I want to add. We have another very good thing, that is glossary. Glossary means that we can add many definitions. Students are again and again asking for certain terminology from us, and they are bothering each other and us. So we can actually make a list of various terms, and we can write down their definitions or explanation or anything. Even we can put video, audio, or anything about them. And we can also allow students to be moderator and add to it. So that's another advantage. Glossary. 3 things. Thank you very much. I hope I managed the time. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you so much. Now over to you talked about actually the BB button and some of the, the benefits
Open book
it brings
quiz.
apart. Yeah. And you talked about open book quiz and you talked about glossary. I think all 3 are remarkable, as were Adil's points. Shakir, I'm coming over to you. And you are the senior manager in the IT business as a business analyst in the office. And you are also an adjunct faculty at business department. Great, that brings 2 skills. You bring the skill of very great competence in IT, and then you are a faculty as well. So that makes it, a meshing of the 2 remarkable. For the time being, Shakir, I think what I would like you to elaborate is if there were some points, like Sabah has asked a question, or like Adil has said a few things, and if you thought there was a better way of doing it. And number 2, I think just in 2 minutes, if you could, about the Google Drive that's embedded in the Moodle now, and how helpful is that? Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, ma'am. Thank you for your kind words, and good afternoon, everyone. Hope everyone is doing fine and are safe at home. So first of all, I would like to answer Ma'am Sabah's question. The first question was that can we download the video from Big Blue Button? Unfortunately, we can't, and there is no option to do that. There are some technical aspects to it. Big Blue Button is an open source, and with open source, the thing is that they do allow you to have the video, and they do allow, the code does allow that you can actually view the video through Moodle whenever you want to view and for how long you want to view. So that is not a limit issue in that perspective or in that area. But however, it does not allow you to download the videos. Secondly, the thing is that about the delay in getting the video into Moodle account. See, the thing is, the Moodle, first of all, the video does not get uploaded into Moodle. No one uploads the video. It gets automatically transferred. So what happens in that situation, once you're done with your video and you stop the video, this Big Blue Button has a compiler in it. What it does, it compiles the video and it creates all the components of the video and throws it on the Moodle. And this can take up to from 1 hour to maximum of 2 hours, depending on the length of the video. So after 1 hour or 2 hours, it will automatically be available on Moodle, and instructors would need to create and download it, then upload it into Moodle. So that's the big convenience that you get with Big Blue Button. So I hope I have answered your question, Ma'am Sabah. Is that so?
Yes, yes.
I think Sir Adil covered everything really well. Ma'am Sabah also covered everything well. But one thing that I wanted to add in terms of quiz was, and that is a recommendation, because we know that a lot of students are having issue with their internet connections. Internet connections are not available all the time to them. At times there is a disconnection in between as well. So for that, I would recommend that when you create a quiz, you must have seen that there is a quiz start time and date and quiz end time and date. I'll just share you my experience, what I have been doing with my students. I give them 3 hours 3 hours between the start time and the end time. But once they start the quiz, they only have 30 minutes to attempt the quiz. So there is a time limit as well that you can actually give to the students, and that just mentioned underneath the start and end time. So basically you can give them 4 or 5 hours when they can access the quiz, and then you can have a time limit set once they access the quiz. So in that way you are able to give them give students the opportunity to access the quiz whenever their internet connection is stable. And secondly, you are not giving them a whole day or about 3-4 hours to actually figure out the answers. You're giving them the appropriate time when they can, when in which they should be answering the question. Okay. So, Ma'am Sylvia, can I come back to your question afterwards? I just need to quickly show you a feature of Google Drive as well. See, the thing is that there is a really great feature. I know a lot of instructors, they add material into their Google Drive and they save it there. So normally an instructor would download the material from Google Drive and then upload the material into their Moodle account. So rather than doing that, you can actually link your Google Drive with your Moodle account. The way you can do it, is it possible, Suleiman, if I can quickly show them that area from where they can do that? If I can share the screen, I've already switched it on. So I just need to quickly show that.
You can share your screen. Are you getting that option? Sharing your screen.
Suleiman? Oh, that's I can't. Okay. I can't. It's not allowing me to do it. So that's fine. Actually, what I can suggest you is that if you go to the Moodle FAQs and you look for the question, can I link my Google Drive to Moodle? So under that FAQ, there is a video that actually shows. Yes.
Shak, please check now. I've just made you the host. I think you can do it now.
Okay. So I'm quickly going to share the screen. Okay. So this, can you all? So I'm quickly going to show you that from here you just add an activity or a resource. You go down and select the file the same way you upload any document. So when you get to this point, when you have to select a file, can you see this Moodle with Google Docs, Google Drive logo? You just select that and it will ask you to log into your Google account. Okay. So I'm just going to select my email over here and it would automatically log into my Google account. And there you go. So all of these documents are available for me to just simply select and put it into my Moodle account. The first time when you do it, it will ask you to link the account. If you go through the tutorial that I've told you about and it is mentioned in the Moodle FAQs, you should be able to do it. So this was from my end. I hope I did manage the time. So that's about it from my end. Yes, ma'am. Oh, ma'am Rukhsana.
Okay.
Over to you. And there are some questions that I'm getting.
Yeah. There are some questions in the chat. I was just going to say that.
So no, I can read those questions. I just wanted a permission if I can go ahead with that.
I think now let me formally open it to question and answer, and I can see some questions coming through. Please go ahead and respond to them.
Okay, ma'am. The first thing is, does the time limit stop if they go online for any reason? That was the question from Ma'am Sylvia. Ma'am, I'm sorry, but what activity are we talking about? Are we talking about the video lecturing? Are we talking about the quizzes?
Quiz, about the quiz. If a quiz, for example, a student go offline, the time limit continues or stops?
Okay. See, the thing is, if they go offline, if they have trouble in their internet connection for about some seconds and even under a minute, it maintains its session. So that is not an issue. But obviously, if the connection gets disconnected for like 5-6 minutes, then their session will not be maintained. So they will not be able to start from the same point. They would need to re-access the quiz again.
So we don't have, because there's an option when we are creating a quiz that they can have more than one attempt. So can we
Yes.
give them 3 or 4 attempts? So even if it goes offline, they can take it from where they were. And if we give them 3 or 4 attempts, does that mean that it's a 3 hours quiz? Means that 3 multiplied by those attempts?
No, the window will remain the same. The window of the quiz availability and accessibility is independent of the attempts, first of all. The second thing is that the attempts, let me be very clear that the attempts are not the attempt of the question, but it's the attempt of the overall quiz. So for example, you need to be very careful if you actually allow the multiple attempts. Because let me give you a scenario. If a student actually makes the attempt, there was no internet connection issue, they just attempted the quiz, and then your quiz review shows them all the correct answers, they can reattempt and actually correct all those answers and it will overwrite. So it is better that if you use the multiple submission or multiple attempts, the best thing is that all your reviews should be switched off. So when you're creating the quiz, there is a tab that says reviews, and you can just uncheck everything from there apart from marks after they are done with the quiz. So that will help you to actually manage the quiz with multiple attempts.
There is always also an option to show them or to grade them. The second attempt is 66%, or the third attempt is 33% of the grade. I saw
Yes.
that option before. My question was,
Yes.
if I'm giving them 4 attempts, that means that it's 4 times the total time of the quiz.
No. That's what I said, that it is independent of that. They are not dependent on each other. So for example, if you allow them 3 hours and you allow 4 attempts, it will still remain 3 hours. It will not become 12 hours.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Yeah.
I think.
And the next question, yes, ma'am.
Yeah, go ahead. Go
Yes.
ahead.
How can students use BBB in restricted environment? Because mostly students download the lecture on the availability of internet. Okay, ma'am. See, the thing is, that's the one of the good things about the BBB is that BBB is available all the time for the students when it is on Moodle. So whenever they have the established internet connectivity, they can view the video on Moodle, but they cannot download it. So if you're talking about the availability of the internet, so the video will be available all the time to them whenever they have the internet connection. However, they cannot download it. The next question was, how can we export the grade from Moodle to Excel file? Yes, I do know that there is a feature that exists of downloading the grades to Excel file. However, I need to check that and I need to get back. I can't remember exactly how it was done, but you can download it. So that was a question coming from Dr. Muhammad Akhyar Farooq. So Farooq Saab, I can respond to you over the email with the procedure that how you can download the grades from Moodle, but you can do it. So the next question was from Sir Adil Ahmed Amir. Shakir, please tell Google Drive should be FC College account, or you can have any account. It depends on you. You can have any email account associated with Moodle. So it doesn't necessarily needs to be FC College's official email ID. If you have a private email ID that you want to associate with Moodle, you can do it. You can even associate multiple, because as you recall, when I showed you my screen, you could see that it was asking me for the account and it was asking me for logging in. So I can select my own account, I can change my account as well. So you have the flexibility in that area. Dr. Salim Abbas, when we upload any assignment on Moodle, does the system send any intimation to students? Sir, for sending out the intimation, there is a push notification feature that is available on Moodle. So you can push the notification for any activity or any resource for which you need to inform your students. There is a notification guide that is available on Moodle FAQ page. It is a guide. It is a PDF document that shows you the step to actually push the notification. It is just 2 to 3 steps, and it actually creates the text for you. So you don't even need to create the whole email. It creates the basic text like Mr. Salim, Dr. Salim Abbas would like to draw your attention to assignment Moodle introduction in the course Econ, in the course MassCom 321. So, and the good thing about that is that in your inbox, that particular activity is hyperlinked. So when a student goes to the inbox and views the message, they can click on that activity and they will directly go to that activity. And that is how basically the notifications are managed on Moodle. So the next question was from Ma'am Sylvia Machado. The Excel option is there. It is different formats to download the grades. Ma'am, I can look into it and I'll get back to you that, about the procedure. I do know that the Excel option does exist. Ma'am Sabha is asking US Excel. Okay, she's telling me yes, the Excel option is there. Yes. Dr. Seemal Janani, how I can draw organic structures on screen. Okay, so ma'am, can I ask you something? Are you talking about during your live lectures, or you're talking about drawing the organic structures in a page and then saving it onto Moodle? Can you clarify a little bit?
On the page, Shakir, on the page.
On the Moodle page, okay.
Moodle page.
Basically, you can actually, if you have to create a Moodle page for that, the best thing would be, rather than drawing, if you can import an image into it. If you really want to draw it, for that you would need to use application as Paint. Paint is an application where you can draw different things, and then you can upload that file into Moodle account. The other thing that you can do during your live lectures, if you're using live lectures, Ma'am Sabha has already covered that point, that during Big Blue Button live session, you have the capability of whiteboard. So on that whiteboard, you can draw as well.
Thank you.
Does it? Okay, thank you, ma'am. And then I have a question from Mr. Syed Saqib Sahab. Shakir, I have an issue with Moodle. Every time I log into my Moodle account, it doesn't accept my password. It asks me to reset the password. So I have to reset my password each time I log in, even if I have to log in Moodle after it gets deactivated. Sir, it is a straightforward issue with your Google cache. If you Google how to clear my Google Chrome cache, or how to clear my, for example, if you're using Firefox, how to clear my Firefox cache, it will show you a very small procedure. So you just clear your Google cache, and then you can come back and do that, and then there shouldn't be a problem. So the next time you log in, you may come across a problem, but when you reset the password and then you clear your cache, then there should be no problem. So please clear your cache. Ma'am Sabha is asking, yes.
Yes, John. So I think what we have done today is, thank you so much, just to tell you all that we are making a brief of this talk. After the recording, we'll also make a half a pager of a brief. And all the questions that you have asked, we'll try to provide you links where you can get further information about this. I would also advise, Shakir, if in your FAQs on the website, we will share these issues with you. And on the Moodle page and the FAQs, if you could add them, that would make it more versatile for our users. And we could direct them directly to the link rather than have to respond every time. If any of you want to leave, I would like to conclude the meeting, and then people can stay on. Officially, you know, normally our time was till 3:30. We have surpassed that time. And I really thank you each and everyone for joining in, and especially our panelists who were very eager to share their best practices. And I think we all know that Moodle helps do the structuring of a program. It makes us help us do easy collaborative work like it was discussed in this session. It increases student engagement with polls and so on and so forth. And of course, assessments that Adil and Sabah both open quiz tests and some more. Just to say that we have decided that we will have a Moodle session like this every week. So you can keep coming back as you find other problems to which you want resolution. And we will keep editing our brief, which will be on the CLT website for you to refer to, and also the Moodle FAQs to refer to. And I think great talk. Tala is now talking about what I would suggest is if people want to leave, they're most welcome to, with immense thanks. And we have another webinar tomorrow on a different beautiful topic about assessments and linking them with learning outcomes to maximize student engagement. And then there's a third one later on, the next day on a Thursday, that is. And we will keep on these webinars for the coming weeks that we are left with, and we'll start focusing more on grading and assessments toward the last 2 weeks. So please keep us notified of any challenges or any topics you want to discuss or share with through this forum. We missed a lot of time and we really need to come together to start talking. I would now like, Shakir or Adil or Sabah to respond to what Tala has said. And there is thanks from people who are leaving the meeting with lots of claps. Again, thanks to you. Shakir, Adil, and Sabah, if you could respond to Tala's about how can we write mathematical question or other languages on Moodle for quiz. Shakir, Adil,
yeah, okay.
Either of you? Okay, Shakir.
Sir Tala, I do know that you can create mathematical questions, equation-based questions in Moodle. So once you are entering the questions, it actually gives you various options of entering the questions. One of the options is related to the equations, mathematical equations, and you can select that option, and then you can actually build a question on the mathematical equation by accessing that. So the basic options that we get, the type of questions that we get are MCQs, match the column, fill in the blanks, true and false. And in that list, there is a mathematical question, equation question as well. Does it answer your questions, Sir Tala?
Thank you, sir. I get your point. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. You're welcome, sir. Ma'am, your mic is mute.
Yeah, I know. Any more questions? No. We can then close this meeting with immense thanks. Adil, you wanted to show something. Would you like to do that now, or we could include it as a part of a brief with a link to your site? What do you say?
Ma'am, you can. It's better that everybody can access it.
Excellent. And I think if we take your points and on the brief and give there the link for what you are saying, I think it will become very powerful, and we'll send out that one-pager brief to all faculty on the campus actually. And as we do more sessions, we'll be sending out more information as well. Thank you so much. Do you want to stay on for, the meeting is formally totally over. We had put up like 3:45. Is there anything else anybody wants to flag for other webinars? We're happy to hear that. Okay, we can formally close now. We can, I think, thank you so much. Goodbye. Thank you so much, Sabah. Thank you, Adil, and thank you, Shakir. Truly appreciate your work.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you.